What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And before we get into this video, let me just say thank you to each and every one of you subscribers out there. Thank you for sharing the video. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. You'll never know how appreciative of your support that I am. You are my motivation to keep going, so I thank you for your support. And I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and an even better New Year. Now, let's get into this video. This video, guys, is a teachable moment video. Now, this gentleman that you see here is on a podcast, and he's going to go into detail on why a coffee date is his preferred way of getting to know a woman that he's just starting out to meet. We all know that I don't know about most, but we all know that a lot of modern women push back on a coffee date. They think it's cheap. They want the guy to go all out courting them, blah, 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 blah. The problem with this concept, and if you watched the last video that I did with the liberal feminist girl, the problem with this concept is you have modern women today who are modern women and who are proud feminists still wanting traditional treatment from men, but they themselves are not traditional women. So this is the problem. They don't want the coffee date. They want the old school traditional, pick them up, take them to a nice restaurant, court them. They want that whole ceremony, that whole thing that we used to do, that men used to do back in more traditional times. Problem is they're not traditional women, so men are not moving that way. Men do not want to take women out to dinner for these expensive dates only to get a text message the next day or even at night. Thank you for the date. I had a great time. I don't think this is going to work out. So men are tired of footing the bill and putting food in women's stomachs, taking them on different places if it's not going to go anywhere. So let's do something simple. Let's take a walk in the park. Let's go on a coffee date. And let's see if we are a good fit and a good match. And if we are, we can move from there. So this individual here is going to break down why he likes the coffee date, what he's trying to accomplish in going on a coffee date with a girl. And not only are we going to break down this and get this knowledge and wisdom out of that nugget of this video, but inside this video, there is a teachable moment that I will point out. So let's listen to the video and then we'll come back and we'll break it down.
Issue isn't that women want to be impressed, it's that they want to be impressed by gesture and not the man.
Ooh.
It's like 300 on the bill. Any with money can 300 on the bill, or any.
Okay, first let me start off by what he said, that he said women want to be impressed by gestures and not the man. And the one girl on the panel said, ooh, as if this was a new revelation. This is what men have been saying for decades now. We've been saying that men today are looked at as a utility and as a resource only. Women do not care about the character of a man. So him saying that, I just don't understand. I honestly don't understand how that is a revelation to her. I actually think it's cap. I know she's heard this before. No modern woman living in today in Western society cannot tell me they've never heard men complain about women just look for appearances, how much money you make, what job you do, and they have no concern about the guy's character. Online dating is literally set up for that. It has nothing to do with your character. She's looking at your height, she's looking at your looks, she's looking at your job, she's looking at your income. It has nothing to do with integrity, character, and all this other stuff. Now, obviously, that's not something you're going to get from a dating profile, but when you ask women what they want in a man, it's never these things. It's never the intangibles. It's always something they can touch. So the fact that he says that they're only interested in the man and not the man, in what the man can do and what the man has, his resources, versus who the man is, if she reacted as if this was a revelation, I believe that's 100% cap. and she's just pretending that this is something new that she's never heard. So let's get back.
Any dude that's desperate enough to fake it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't. You can't fake generosity. You can't fake humility. You can't fake service.
All right, I'm gonna stop them there. Actually, you can fake a lot of things. You can fake generosity. You can fake humility. You can fake a lot of different things. But eventually, who you are will really come out. So I don't agree with that statement that he said.
You can't fake leadership. You can only like put up a charade so long until Shorty realized none of those things. But it's like, rather than look at the intangibles, because I ain't gonna lie, I personally got offended because they put coffee dates on there. I'm gonna give away one of my plays, man. I'm gonna give away one of my all-day date plays. It's a play that doesn't miss.
Super date me.
Coffee, museum, bar.
I just got wet.
And no, it's
Okay. This is the other girl on the panel. He says coffee date, museum, bar. She said I just got wet. First of all, I don't understand why a lot of modern women talk like this. Like, they have no decorum. That was completely unattractive. That would completely turn me off if I heard a girl say that. This is not how traditional women speak. Again, they want traditional treatment, but they are not traditional women. Traditional women do not speak like this. They do not say and utter the statement that she just made. So there's two women on this panel. We heard from the first one, acting like she's never heard men say this before. And then we hear from her saying, you just made me wet, off of what he said. Now, she's capping as well. How do I know this? Because there's YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok full of videos, and Facebook, of women complaining about men trying to take them on coffee dates. They consider it cheap. They consider it low quality. They consider these men to not be the men that they are looking for. So, we've seen two women give two responses that were very jubilee, very excited. This brings me to my other point. What this man said was not significant, but look at the reaction that he drew. I want you guys to know something. When you say something astounding, but you do not fit the description of what women find attractive, the response you get from the same thing he said will not be the response that they give you. A lot of you out there who subscribe to this channel, watch the channel, support it, comment, you have said some pretty astounding things out of your face at least once, twice, 3 times in your life. When you say something that's astounding to women or around women, the women will react to what you said, as brilliant as it is, according to their level of attraction to you. This man has said nothing that thousands of other men have said and been complaining about. But the response that he got from these women, they act as if this is the first time they ever heard it, and this is the wisest, most magnificent thing they've ever heard. Also, I want you to recognize and remember this woman's face. It's important because we're going to rewind this back at the end of this video.
It's coffee, museum, lunch, bar. You owe food if you got somebody out that long. But check me out, bro. Coffee dates strip people down. Yes, you may feel like you're getting a cheap experience. That's the point, because no one can hide behind money. I can't hide behind how much money I make. You can't.
All right, guys, so that's the end of it because this is a short. But he breaks down why the coffee date is important, and I agree wholeheartedly with him. When you do something simple on a date, especially with a woman that you're trying to get to know, when you know you have the right person for you or someone that will be a great partner for you, you don't have to do anything extravagant or exciting in order to have a good time. This is how you know you really have someone as a good long term partner. When you can do the simple things like going on a coffee date, going to the park, going to a museum, going somewhere where you both are not occupied with an activity, but where you both are each other's company. And if you are able to do that and still enjoy yourself, even at a museum, even just having coffee, even just walking through the park, this is how you really get to know someone and you really get to vet who they are and if they will be a good person for you. Because, like he said, you can't hide behind your money, aka a fancy restaurant. You can't hide behind activities because sometimes with dates you go and do an activity that would be fun with just about anybody you went with. That is not a good moniker on if this person is a good fit for you. You want to do something simple because simple things with great company equals a great time. So I wholeheartedly agree with everything he said. The only thing I disagree with is the bar. I'm not a bar guy. I'm not really even a drinker. I'm not a big drinker, so I would not take my date to a bar. As a matter of fact, when I had girlfriends, I never took them to the bar. If we wanted to have a drink, we went to a nice restaurant that had a bar inside of it, and we would have a meal, and it would bring us out a drink. But I never actually took any of my girlfriends to a bar. I would never do that. Now, I don't know if he means like a high, like an upscale bar, or I don't know what kind of bar he's talking about, but I personally never do that. Now, let's get to the teachable moment. Remember this girl? Take a good look at this girl. Take a good look at her. Where do you remember seeing her before?
I went on a first date, and when I opened the door, my man was at my front door, and I was like, "Oh, like right." And then he hit me with the Rico. He pulled the flowers out, and I was like, "Wow, this is different, right?" So I'm not even paying attention. I brush past this, trying to walk down the steps and get to the door, right? Because I'm not paying attention. I'm just so not used to it, and it just hasn't like I just didn't have a lot of practice. He opened my car door. I get inside. He closed the door. I immediately went to my group chat. It's weird. Did you say he opened your car door?
High five.
No, no. Now let me explain, right? Let me explain. By the time we got to the restaurant, my follow-up text was, y'all, that's my bad. I just realized and all that stuff we be talking about, we don't really want it.
She admits that she's not ish. Her words, not mine. She says out of her own mouth. So when she comes on here, he brings up coffee dates and she says, I got wet. And she's excited about it as if this is what she wants. This is not what she wants. This is not what most women want. Let this be a teachable moment, guys. The internet lives forever, and whatever you put out there is always out there. That's why it pays to be observant. I recognized her the minute I saw her. And the minute she said this nonsense on here, as if she would be cool with a coffee date, a walk in the park, going to the museum and dinner, this is something that a gentleman would do. This is something that that man who she went on that date with in that TikTok video we just watched did. He didn't sit in his car and honk the horn. He walked up to her door. She came out. That immediately peeved her off. He gave her flowers. That immediately peeved her off as well. So already 2 flags going against this guy. 2 strikes. They walk to his car. He opens the car door for her to get in. He closes it. She said the minute he did that, she jumped on her phone, texted her group, and said, this guy's weird. This guy is corny. And then later on, she's sitting on here saying, this is exactly what she wants. This is exactly what gets her excited. Guys, never listen to the words that come out of a woman's mouth when it comes to relationships and the men that they want. If you really want to know what a woman wants, all you have to do is look at her past relationships. Look at her exes. If you want to know the type of woman that you're getting, look at her friends. Meet her friends. Get to know her friends. Because you are not just trying to win this woman over, you are trying to win over her friends. This is why in the TikTok video, the minute she got in the car, she pulled out the phone. Who did she text? Her friends. The same thing that happened with the Crack in the Barrel. Was it Cracker Barrel? Cracker Barrel or the Cheesecake Factory. The same thing that happened with the Cheesecake Factory girl. You are never just dating the girl. You're dating her and her group of friends, whoever those group of friends are. And you have to pass whatever barrier, whatever example, whatever standards that her friends have. Because she has to be able to bring you around them, and they have to approve you. They have to approve what you do, how you look, and how much you make before she will even consider you being a suitable partner. If you took this girl on a coffee date, and then a museum, and then to a bar, you would have ended up being called corny in her chat group. She already proved it. But when a guy is in a room saying something that a woman does not like, if she finds him attractive, she will respond accordingly. This is the difference between average guys and above average guys. The guys that women find attractive. It is a very thin line between being charming and being a creep. If the words he said came out of the mouth of someone they didn't find attractive, he would have been called all sorts of names. He would have been called cheap. He would have been called low value. He would have been called beta. And the list goes on and on and on and on. So guys, I'll leave the link. You can check out this video if you want. This is the same girl. Can't make this stuff up. They tell on themselves. That's why we have two ears and one mouth. Always do more listening than you do talking. Always be observant. Recognize who you are and know the brilliance that is inside of you, even if no one else does. The difference between being charming is income, height, and a chiseled jawbone. So guys, be safe out there. Always move with intention. Always move with purpose. Always be observant. Always be listening. Any girl that likes you, and I mean likes you a lot, will be dying to do anything with you. Whether it be a coffee date, whether it be a walk in the park, whether it be to get an ice cream cone. When women are really and truly into a man, you do not have to spend a lot of money on them guys. You don't. You don't have to do anything. You can do a Netflix and chill if she's really into you like that. This whole courting and taking me to a nice restaurant, this whole thing only applies to the average man. It does not apply to the man that she truly wants and that she truly desires. He can just show up and say the same thing that men have been saying for decades. Maybe even men that they dated's been saying. But when the guy they desire say it, they listen. That's the difference. Alright guys, appreciate your support. Check out the video. Leave your comments below. Let me know if you knew that this was the same girl that was in that TikTok video. I recognized it as soon as I seen her. Why? Because I'm observant. I like to observe and I like to do more listening than I do talking. So check the video out. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you soon.